You realize that there's a lot of emotions that you're in denial about or that you just kind of packed away. And then if you don't have anything stopping you now, what could potentially stop you, and what can you respond to in this moment to prevent yourself from hitting any roadblocks? Hello, and welcome back or welcome to Her Work Life Wellness Sessions. I'm so excited to have you here. I feel really great today. I would say I'm at about an 8-9 today. My energy is flowing. I'm happy. I feel accomplished. And just on top of all of my goals at the current moment, I'm constantly having new ideas. I feel energized and I just feel really amazing, honestly. Like, of course, there's always going to be small things that are going to get on my nerves a little bit, but for the most part today, I just feel amazing. And today's topic is really great for you if you feel like you're looking for more balance on your success journey and you just want to step away from feeling burnt out. I know for me, when I would get these big ideas, sometimes I would feel like they would seem impossible because no matter how much effort I would put in, no matter how hard I tried, it would always just feel like so much work. And I never felt like that girl or that woman who had that energy and had the authority, confidence, and just the power to have what I wanted to have. And it has nothing to do with creating a perfect Pinterest board of ideas on who you want to be. It's more so just taking control of your energy, knowing yourself right now, and who you want to be in the future. So if that's you, this is going to be a treat for you. I'm so excited for you to take some notes, journal, and just to get what you need out of this episode. So I'm so excited. As I always do, I love to start out with just an energy check and some breathing exercises to know how are we doing right now in this very moment. Can we breathe? Can we really just get in tune with where we are right now? So if you want to participate, we're going to do some deep breathing exercises. So if you could breathe in for a few seconds and exhale. Breathe in for a few seconds and exhale. And breathe in and exhale. And what this does, yes, you can keep on going. You can try out different rhythms of breath work, but breath work is so important for just getting in tune with your body, getting in tune with your mind, and letting go of what isn't serving you right now, just being in this very moment and being present. Because if your mind is all over the place, you're not really going to receive what I'm saying. You're going to just be worrying about what you have to do later in the day and just like different things going on, because we all have our lives. Like, we're all adults here, so we have a lot going on in our lives. So it's so important to just lock in, be focused, and to work on your breath work and work on just being in the present. So another thing I like to do is let's rate our energy on a scale of 1 to 10. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say I'm at an 8 or 9, like I said before. But of course, everybody has their own energy, everybody's in their own place. So as I said earlier, things are going amazing for me right now. But for you, I would love to know where your energy is and just kind of check in with yourself. Make sure that you spend some time and really get to know where you are right now in this very moment. So, with that being said, we are going to jump into the next segment, which is talking about alignment. Last week, I felt very much in alignment with the image that I want to create for myself. I started to think about, how do I want my nails to look? How do I want my hair to look each and every day, especially as somebody who wears my natural hair a lot of the time. I'm starting to realize that there's so much upkeep that comes with it. And all of my curly hair girls know it's really important to just have a hairstyle that's easy and that is a go-to staple for your wardrobe and just like your overall look. So something that looks good with what you're wearing, but also just a key statement piece that you can go to work in. It looks good when you're going for walks. And I'm kind of at a point where I'm thinking about what works for me, what doesn't. And I'm just excited to just craft this new version of myself. And yes, I love the way I look, but I just want to kind of elevate my look a little bit more. So I've really been in alignment with looking at different Pinterest boards for outfit inspiration, for hair inspiration, makeup inspiration, and just in a space where I'm trying to find what works for me, what kind of style I want to have for myself. So if that's you and you're looking to expand your look, you want to have some key staple pieces, I highly recommend getting a Pinterest board. I love just being able to create inspiration boards for my hair, nails, outfits, and for different occasions because, as I said in other episodes, I am getting married. So I'm excited to go on my honeymoon. I'm thinking about, yes, I have my dress picked out, but I haven't picked out my honeymoon outfits yet. So I'm thinking about what kind of elevated, more whites and neutral clothes that I want to wear for my honeymoon. And just kind of thinking about what kind of vibe I want to give. And I'm just excited to just go into that place and to just have fun for a little bit because I do work a lot. I'm always having different ideas, working my hardest to execute, but it's so fun when I get to lean back and to enjoy myself, focus on beauty, fashion, and just have a little fun because we're women. Like, we love to experiment with our hair, with our clothes, and we deserve to have fun every now and then. And I just love just setting aside time to scroll and to look at different inspirations. And something I haven't been in alignment with is just the planning that goes into wedding planning. I really feel frustrated with the whole, there's the planning of the actual event, but then there's like days leading up to it. And it's been kind of challenging because I don't necessarily have a strong plan for what I want to do before the wedding. I do have some ideas, but I feel like nothing is in alignment right now. But I feel like it eventually will. But it's all about just feeling good about what I'm doing, knowing that I'm going to be relaxed, pampered, and just enjoy those final moments before I walk down the aisle. So I'm so excited to do that. I am going to keep working on that because I know it will mean a lot to just be in the right headspace when I walk down that aisle and I'm around friends and family who's taking time out of their schedule and their work to show up and to be at the event and at our wedding. So it's just, I'm going to just have to spend a little bit more time on that and to orchestrate a few things, but I'm excited nonetheless. And that's just my life. I mean, this is a good problem to have, like planning my wedding, planning honeymoon. Like, there's going to be problems in life, but sometimes there's just some really good problems to have and kind of spicy problems because it's pretty fun with planning events and just getting married. Like, this is going to be one of the best days of my life. Like, I'm claiming that. I'm putting that into the universe, putting that into just everywhere. Like, I'm just like putting that out there that this is going to be the best day, one of the best days of my life. So with that being said, we're going to jump into today's message. Like I said before, this message is all about how to shift your identity so that success, balance, confidence feel natural and not forced. So it's all about knowing that your identity does not have to be around feeling burnt out. It doesn't have to feel forced, like, oh, I have to show up and just be all of a sudden this disciplined person. It's not about trying to be perfect, but it's about understanding yourself, seeing where you are now, and knowing how you can get to where you want to be. And it's not going to be perfect. It's a journey. We're all our best project. We're all our most important project. So, yes, we have work, we have life going on, but at the core of it all is going to be us. Who we are as a person matters so much. And if we just put in the energy, put in the time and care for ourselves, everything around us will turn around and just reflect all the work that we've put into ourselves. And we are going to be in a great place because of that. Because if you're putting good energy into yourself, you are going to be exactly where you're supposed to be. Nobody's going to take your spot because whatever's for you is going to be for you. And it's all about letting go of that burnt out self, which brings me into what is our burnt out self? Our burnt out self is the negative energy that we feel when we're waking up in the morning, we're thinking about work, we're burnt out. We're not really happy about showing up to work. We're not happy about just being present at work and having to show up for other people and just being in that place of survival mode and just not feeling excited about life. That is not how we have to live life. Life is a lot more expansive, fun, and just freeing than that. But if you're in a place of just feeling burnt out, that means that you don't have a good work routine for yourself. Either you're all work, 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 or you're just not putting in what you can be putting in for yourself and your self care when you're not at work. A lot of the time, it's not because we are working so much and we don't have time for ourselves. A lot of it is because we're working and we oftentimes forget about the balance of work and caring for ourselves. So, yes, we have time to put into ourselves, we have time to go to work, we have time to get ready for work and to prepare ourselves mentally, but we don't have the necessary time to put into our self care. We don't have the time to just pour into ourselves. So it's all about finding that balance between work and play because, yes, you have time for yourself when it comes to entertainment, when it comes to having a good time for yourself. We all have a good time on our phones. We love scrolling and just jumping into the bed after work. Like, trust me, like that could be a great time. But when it comes to our self care, sometimes it's just a little bit boring. I think most of us here know what it's like to have a balanced meal. We know that we have to work out. We know that we have to do our skincare. But are we really doing that boring work of knowing that you're in a good place, knowing that you are taking care of your mental health, knowing that you're taking care of your nervous system and just calming down after a long day of work? Because the other day I was working and it was just a really long day, and I realized that I was not putting in the time that I needed to rest, to take a break, and to do some stretches. Because when you're sitting at a desk for hours and hours on end, you forget that you actually have a functioning body and you end up being so tight. And at the end of the day, you don't even stretch, you don't do any kind of physical activity. You just hop in the bed, you strip down, put on your pajamas, or maybe you're somebody who's just a little bit more, you like to go outside more, or maybe being at home all day isn't your thing. You like to go out and get drinks. So you might go for a drink, or you might just be so tired where you just lay down and you just throw the whole day away. So it's either or, like those two spectrums of you're just socializing, you're trying to do your best to network and to climb the ladder, or you're doing your best to hold your friendships together, or you're just at home, you're just trying to hide away from the world. You want to cozy up and just feel comforted after a long day of work. I totally understand that because I've been on both sides of the spectrum where I've been all go, 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 but then I've had moments where it's like, listen, like I just want to curl up, go home, and just cozy up by myself because work can be really stressful and it can get to the point where I don't want to face the world. Like, I just want to cozy up. I want to watch my favorite show on Hulu, and I don't want to have to do so much. But when we release that burnt out self and we start to realize that we have to do that boring work, you start to realize that doing meditations, going for mental health walks, journaling, and really checking in with yourself is so important. It's those slow moments that allow you to understand if you're burnt out. As I stated in previous episodes, I mentioned that there are several different stages of burnout. You know, when you're burnt out, when you just don't have the energy to do anything. You have such a hard time going to work and you just don't enjoy the work that you're doing anymore. You just don't show up the same anymore and you're not able to pour into people the same. And sometimes you might get to the point where you are pouring into other people, but you're not pouring into yourself. And that can mostly happen to people who are more extroverted or you really enjoy just the presence of others. But you realize that when you're at home, you just feel so exhausted and you just want to watch TV and you want to drain yourself. You want to just pour yourself into whatever you're watching and you don't really care to ask yourself how you're doing because it is boring. It does take time away from the fun things or the things that will kind of numb our brains and give us that instant gratification. And from my experience, journaling can be very boring. Sometimes you just don't want to journal. It sometimes feels like a lot of effort just sitting down, journaling, and it doesn't always feel the best because it doesn't really lead to instant results right away. And sometimes you don't have the answers, you don't really feel good about it. And journaling can be very raw and real, and it can open up emotions that maybe you just haven't felt in years. And it can lead to negative feelings. Like, I know that last year I went through a long phase of journaling. I was reading a book called The Mountain Is You. I really love that book because it helped me understand my traumas, understand why was I self-sabotaging and just not doing the things that really entertained me and that made me feel fulfilled in life. I just felt like I was constantly trying to outperform and doing my best, but I just kept leading myself to burnout. And I felt like even when it came to my dreams and my visions, I wasn't able to do these things because I was self sabotaging and I wasn't doing what I needed to do. And the book has a section where it's all about emotional intelligence and it's all about unpacking what you went through in the past. And sometimes there's these emotions that are just pent up and that we just don't deal with. So in journaling, you realize that there's a lot of emotions that you're in denial about or that you just kind of packed away. So when you're writing down what you're thinking for the day or you're reflecting on a certain prompt, you might feel like, hey, like I really feel depressed about this one thing, or I feel really anxious about this, or this one thing somebody said really bothered me because what they said kind of made me feel insecure. So when you're thinking about what somebody said, and when you're thinking about the past in that kind of way, you start to realize how that still impacts you to this day. And it's in those moments where you can either fight or you can flight or you can just address it right now and right then and there, or just kind of spend some time to think about like, how does this impact me to this day? And am I able to work through this? Is this a topic that maybe I need to focus on moving forward in the near future? Maybe it'll take a couple weeks to just kind of think about how can I work through these different areas of my life? And it's in those moments that you uncover, hey, like maybe this is why I'm feeling burnt out. Maybe I'm not even burnt out, but I'm feeling traumatized or I'm dealing with some issues from my past that I just haven't worked through. And in those moments, I would say if you're working through something pretty difficult, that it's always best to work with a professional, like a therapist or a psychiatrist who can guide you through those really difficult emotions, or if you're going through a really difficult mental challenge or your mental health is just not in a great place. It's always great to talk to a therapist because they're going to be able to give you the resources you need. They're going to help you diagnose any issues that you might have and to unpack how the trauma impacts you today. And a lot of it has to do with you being vulnerable. And I commend you for just taking a moment to unpack and taking a moment to think and to touch on those things that happen to you, because honestly, a lot of adults just don't do it. There's so much that many of us have gone through that we just don't want to talk about. And wellness isn't just working out, getting cute matcha, taking some hot girl walks. That's cute, but there's a lot more to it that we just don't talk about, and that can really change up your strategy. It can really inspire a strategy that will truly work for you if you just realize where you are at right now and what kind of challenges and mental blocks have you been through that might impact what you're doing now. And it's going to inspire you and to push you and to motivate you to keep moving forward, because maybe you're just not burnt out. Maybe you just are stuck in the past and you just have to work through certain things. But in the case of burnout, it's all about just identifying that and moving away from that burnt out self, because it can be a lot. It can be a lot to take on that and to realize I'm really burnt out. I'm not really inspired by life right now. I feel like just overwhelmed by what's happening to me and just the workload. The workload is so bad. I can't handle it and it's overwhelming. But it's all about just letting it go, taking a moment to reflect, know that, yeah, I'm overwhelmed, but I don't have to be burnt out. Yes, this is a lot, but I have to just take this one step at a time. And I have to understand that I do want to be successful. I do want to move forward. And it's all about knowing where I'm at now and being okay with letting go of the overwhelm, letting go of the pressure that is dragging me down, because it's time to move forward. It's time to feel good about life again, because when you're overwhelmed and when you're burnt out, it's not a good feeling. It's a feeling that it's hard to break out of. It can be hard to do the things that we enjoy. It can be hard to connect with others. And maybe that's why we don't really like to go out after work, or we don't like to do activities after work that fulfill us. We just rather curl up and just watch TV. That could be the reason why. But once you identify that, you can begin the process of letting go that burnt out self. Moving forward, it's time to identify your identity that you have right now and that you want versus the habits that you have right now and the habits that you want. Because if you are still doing activities that aren't getting you to where you want to be, you're just choosing to be stuck. You're choosing to not make progress. And it's understandable to know that, yes, you are doing some negative activities and you're bringing yourself down essentially, but it's okay to just take a step back and to realize, like, hey, this is not working out for me. I don't know what I need to do, but I know that this habit isn't bringing me closer to my dream self. It's not bringing me closer to my ideal self. And so this is not what I want to do. This is not the person that I want to be. So it's all about just knowing, am I somebody who gets tired under pressure? Am I somebody who just can't handle pressure? Or is it because I'm overwhelmed by the actions that I have to do? Maybe the way that I'm going about this just isn't working out for me. Maybe I just need a new strategy that's going to conserve my energy, that's going to make me feel fulfilled, happy and just excited about life again, excited about my work again, maybe I need to have a conversation with my boss about, hey, like maybe this isn't working for me anymore. I need to try a new approach. I've had to do this before in one of my previous jobs. When I was working in retail, I had a hard time with the process that the job was giving me. I feel like they didn't really give us that much flexibility at first, but then I realized that you're able to change your approach to selling and working with customers as long as you get the results that you need to meet the performance goals in the role. And so when I did my research, I looked at what would work for me, and I realized that I don't have to do things the way that everybody else is doing it. I can be a little bit more creative. I can be a little bit more interactive with customers and not as pushy, so that customers can enjoy the process and I don't have to feel icky coming into work every day and feeling annoyed about this job, because the way that the job does it isn't always right. It's just that maybe it worked for some people, but it doesn't necessarily have to work for you if you just don't want to do things that kind of way. So it's all about communicating to your boss or just to yourself if you work for yourself that it's time to do things differently. It's time to change the strategy and it's time to reassess. Is this working for me? It might be working a little bit, but maybe it would work better if we just did things just a little bit of a different way that made me feel energized, made me feel good. Like, for example, if you're somebody who's a visual person and you're constantly having to be a logical person, you're constantly having to create these really complex spreadsheets for planning your work and to staying on track, maybe you just need to be more hands on. Maybe you like to sketch things out and to create a game plan on paper. Maybe that's just a little bit more tactile for you and just something that makes you visualize and to feel more connected with your work if you're somebody who likes to draw things out and to like to see things on paper. So take your time and to understand what works for you in this moment and what do you need to change? What kind of strategies do you need to swap so that you can have the energy that you need to do your job right, of course, but also have some energy for yourself left over at the end when it's time to go home and when it's time to enjoy your life, because enjoying your life is important. While it is important to enjoy the job and to do a great job, you still need to have that energy to pour into yourself and to pour into your loved ones. Because if you're working a job that is overwhelming and you don't feel excited about what you're doing, what is the purpose of it? Why continue to be stuck? Why continue to be in the driver's seat, or why continue to not be in the driver's seat of your life and to do something that just doesn't resonate with you and to just let it happen? I feel like that's the most irresponsible thing, is to constantly do the same thing and to know that you're not getting closer to where you want to be. At least you're doing the job right, but you just know 5 years from now, 10 years from now, this is just not going to work. And of course, it's all about just doing the thing, but you have to keep pivoting sometimes in life. You have to keep changing it up so that it continues to work for you, because what works for you today might not work for you energetically 1 year down the line, 2 years down the line. And hey, like I did some research earlier this week and I learned that all the skills that we gain, they're only going to last about 2.5 years. So either way, it's always going to benefit you to, in this new age of learning new skills, learning new strategies that work for you. Because if time is constantly evolving, then we are going to constantly have to evolve with the times. Because even in less than 5 years, we're going to have to gain some new skills, which is going to have to allow us to change our new strategy. So we're going to have a new strategy to do those skills, to keep being productive, and to keep being a great employee, a great boss, and keep being a great player in whatever industry we're playing in. And so if you're doing that with work, you should do that in your own personal life. You should do that in regards to your own personal life, constantly swap things out, swap out different strategies. But of course, when you find what works for you, you can hang on to it as long as you can. But then eventually it's all about just pivoting and to know what works for you, keep going, and to feel excited about what you're doing and to enjoy the process, because you're not always going to do something for 10 years straight. Like, we always know that times are changing, and in this new age of AI, in this new age of technology, ever changing technology, things are changing. When I tell you changing, it's not just the careers, it's also our strategy. Our wellness strategy has to shift when it comes to using this technology, because we're not just reacting to technology. We're creating a strategy for ourselves and not just reacting to it, but responding to it in a way like, this is starting to really drain me. Like, I cannot keep on coding like this. I cannot keep on executing like this. I'm going to have to take a break. I'm going to have to reassess my strategy towards this so that I have the energy to do what I need to do, and so that I can be successful in life, not just in this job, but also in my personal life, because this job is taking so much out of me now. I need a little bit more assistance. I need just some backup so that I can continue to work high level with this job, but also to have my wellness together and to still have time for myself. Because, I mean, one day maybe you want to have a family, or maybe you do have a family and you need to have more time to enjoy your life with your loved ones, because we only have so much time to live. So we don't want to spend all our time just working. So with that being said, we're going to jump into the last topic that I want to talk about, which is trying to envision that next level and embodying it before it really shows up in your life. So before the results show up in your life, you need to embody your dream self and to embody that next level even before it happens in your life. So when you envision that person you want to be, when you feel energized, you're successful, and you have that balance in your life, and you're confident in yourself, not only at work, but also in your own personal life, you need to realize, like, what does she look like? How does she feel? What are her habits? And what can I do now in order to embody her in this moment and to feel good about it in this moment? So it's all about embodying that now, embodying the energy. Are you somebody who when to take breaks when you need to take breaks? Make sure you're taking breaks when you need them. And are you someone who pours into yourself deeply in the morning so that you can perform at a very high level? Are you somebody who enjoys your personal time after work? And do you want to continue to have certain boundaries after work? Make sure that you set those boundaries, because if you don't have boundaries in place, they're not going to be respected. And it's going to be really hard to create those balances and to create boundaries when you didn't already set them in place. So be comfortable with yourself and to know that you can create boundaries in your life that maybe aren't there, and to know that you can embody the person that you want to be through your habits, your goals, and just creating that vision right now. Write it down on paper. If you don't know who that is, then we can do an activity that will show you who that person is, where you are now, and we'll get into that. But before we get into that, I do want you to know that whatever habits that you're building right now, you need to realize that you have to work on it. And even if it's not perfect now, you should at least put those on your calendar. Maybe you want to wake up a little bit earlier. Make sure to wake up earlier, set your alarm earlier so that you are putting in those reps, because we're a work in progress. Wellness is a journey, not a destination. So if you have certain checkpoints and you have different activities that you need to do to get there, it's almost impossible to not feel like you're fulfilled in that, because if you're doing what you need to do, you're going to feel fulfilled no matter what the results are or whether they're showing results or not. You're not in charge of the results showing up. You're not in charge of when they show up, but you can do what you can do now to get there. You can feel good about who you are now so that you can bring that person in, because the energy that you're putting out there now will reflect and will shine on back to you. So if you feel good about yourself, like for example, today I woke up really good. I really felt good. Even though you can't smell me, I made sure to spray my perfume because I know in real life I would want to smell good. I would want us to have a conversation, and I would want you to feel my aura and to feel my presence. Because if I'm putting in that time now, I can envision the woman that I would be in the future stepping into conferences, stepping in to do a talk and to do an event and to do an appearance somewhere where I'm excited to be. And I know that I'm going to show up as my best self because I have the look, I have the habits, and I have the energy and the aura to do that. And one of the ways you can do to step into the person that you want to be, something you can do is to pick a signature scent that you enjoy. That's a really fun way to step into the person you want to be. Pick a strong scent. I saw in a commercial the other day the Chanel No. 5 scent. It really inspired me because I'm like I feel like having a signature scent is so important for women, because it's something that, like, once you find that scent and once you find that aura, you kind of own it. You claim that energy and it kind of just becomes a part of you. And when you have that sense, having a strong and just beautiful scent like that is going to make you confident. People will smell you before you even step into the room. And just having that energy is so important, because when you feel good, you have that energy, you have that aura, and people are going to gravitate towards you. They're going to feel you and just love your presence. That's a fun way. Another fun way is to really look at your wardrobe, think about, like, does your wardrobe make you feel good? Do you need to do a clean out? Are you a little bit cluttered in your closet? Do you need to kind of swap things out? And do you need to just get more workout clothes? Are your workout clothes having any stains on them? Do they have any holes? And just see, what kind of area can you upgrade? Can you upgrade your workout clothes? Do you need a little bit more business clothes? I know last year I realized that I never had that many dresses, so I would try to see, like, what dresses I like to wear and what is going to make me feel confident. And a part of that is social proof. Social proof is so important, and just how people see you is so important, because it's a great way to just judge people on how they look. Although I don't always agree with it, but it's a great way to see, does this person care for themselves? Does this person pamper themselves? How is their wellness? And if they care about themselves, most likely they're going to care about you as well. If you're somebody they're looking to serve, and if they made a promise to you, most likely they're going to act on that promise, and they're going to do their best to serve you and to withhold and uphold who they are as a person. I said withhold as in, like, they can withhold who they aren't, but also they can uphold who they are. So when you know who you are, you're going to just push away from things that just don't serve you. You're going to show up as you want to be and just be more refined. And it's not just having the look, but it's having the aura, having the energy, having the habits that you need, making sure that you're eating healthy, working out, and taking care of yourself inside and out, because that will reflect outside of you, and people will see that. People will see that Are you taking care of yourself? Are you drinking enough water? They're going to know if you've been, taking care of your teeth and taking care of your hair. And all that really matters because it's all about how people see you. And at home, you can do whatever you want, but when you're stepping into the world, it is important because we live in a very vain society and people care about how you look. So if you want that balance, you want that confidence and to feel successful, you can embody that through shifting yourself from where you are now. Maybe you do love how you look. I love how I look, but you can always elevate yourself, elevate your look, elevate your sense, your wellness, and to pick up different habits that are going to bring you more in alignment with who you want to be. So let's jump into today's exercise. We're going to be doing a journaling exercise about comparing our old selves versus our new selves. So in that, we're going to journal about how you used to be or how you are, and then compare that with who you want to be. So I would spend a couple minutes journaling about how you are, like what are your habits? Are you somebody who procrastinates? Are you somebody that really doesn't put in the work that you want to put in? Do you wish that you took care of yourself more? Do you wish that you did your nails more? Do you wish that you worked out more? Are you a little bit lazy when it comes to working out or when it comes to eating healthy? What kind of foods do you eat? Who do you hang around? And how do you identify yourself? In this exercise, it's all about just writing who you are, identify yourself. And once you write about who you are, I know some of us like to write down our credentials. That's completely fine. Maybe you want to eventually have more credentials, or maybe you want to elevate that or expand past your credentials. Because in this exercise, you're going to really kind of expose yourself. Like, who are you? In this exercise, you're going to write down what really matters to you, what makes you you, and to understand what kind of identity are you holding for yourself. And after spending a few minutes with that, I want you to script about your new identity or your ideal identity. Like maybe you are ideal, but what kind of habits and what kind of activities do you need to do to get to where you want to be? And maybe you don't know that right now, but maybe write about like what does she look like? What kind of hair does she have? What kind of habits is she doing? And what kind of foods is she eating? Is she going on walks? Is she doing Pilates? Is she having fun and doing a little bit of everything, playing tennis? Does she go shopping? Does she like to go out to brunch with her friends? What kind of different things is she doing? And maybe you're doing some of those things right now, but what else would you add to it if you were to script out your dream self? I mean, that peak self that you absolutely want to be. And after you're done with these two things, journaling about how you used to be and then responding to that and scripting about who you actually want to be in response to who you are now, you're going to ask yourself, and over this next week, think about what's stopping you from the progress that you need to do to get to where you want to be. And then if you don't have anything stopping you now, what could potentially stop you and what can you respond to in this moment to prevent yourself from hitting any roadblocks? Because we go through times like today, I'm doing amazing, but like if I went through a loss or if I, lost my job or something, God forbid, like that could be something that could really stop my progress. And so, I mean, it would stop anybody's progress because your habits would change. And so it's all about really finding that root, finding that place where it's like, okay, no matter what, even if this were to happen, even if things were to go left, that could stop me from making that progress. But how am I going to respond to that? And what would that look like for me in that moment? Like if I were to lose it all, would I be able to uphold this person, and or would I be able to keep going? And would that stop me from making progress? Or would I be able to pivot and find a new job? Do I trust that it's going to be easy for me to find a new job and to find a new opportunity? And do I trust that I can handle grief, or that I can handle any loss that could happen to me because I can get through anything? Or do you think that you have any loose walls that could potentially fall down on the house that you're building, the house of your ideal self? So in that moment, I want you to really think about this and to reflect about this over the next week. Like, what could knock me off my square? And if you're really doing good, nothing could absolutely knock you off your square, because when you're locked in and you know who you are, nothing can stop you from keep moving forward. Yes, we're going to go through the waves of life. And yes, there's going to be just personal things that happen in our life that take us away from our progress. But can we imagine ourselves getting back on track if something were to go left? Or if we slipped up and we ate something that we weren't supposed to eat? Can we trust ourselves to get back on path? And can we know that no matter what happens, because life is imperfect, that we can get back on track? These are things that I want you to think about, because I know it's easy to create that plan of our ideal self, but honestly, life just be life in sometimes. So we have to create a plan, and we have to know that things are going to happen that aren't ideal. It might not happen today, it might not happen tomorrow, but one day there's going to come a time where you're going to be tested. Like, do you have a strong foundation on your habits? And do you know what you're going to do if something were to go wrong? I don't always think we have to prepare for the worst, but sometimes we have to think and reflect on what could possibly happen, or not what could possibly happen, but what could stop me from making progress, and how would I respond to that? Think about that. Take a few minutes throughout the week. Make sure that you do that journaling prompts in this moment. You can pause this video, or you could take some moments after this video to just kind of think about that. And throughout the week, I want you to really think about what could stop you and what are you going to do in response to that, so that you can keep making your progress on your life. Because nobody's going to keep pushing you to go forward. Nobody's going to make sure that you're on track. It's all about you to find that balance, to feel successful, and to be confident in yourself on your journey towards shifting away from that burnt out self and from forcing something. It's all about feeling that good feeling of I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and I'm shifting away from who I used to be to where I want to be now. So I do want to tell you about my program. It is called the Elevated Energy Reset. It's going to be linked down below, but essentially it's a program where you get access to clean energy supplements that are going to help you just reset your energy. There's protein powders, there's healthy alternatives to coffee and other supplements that are going to help you on your wellness journey. You get access to a community of women where you can reflect and be around like-minded women who can push you and elevate you on your journey. And you get access to live calls where we're going to help you unpack and to understand where you are now, and to work through certain blocks that most likely we're all going to go through at some point. So if that's you, make sure you check it out. You also get lifetime access once you lock in and you start that program by purchasing the bundle, and you will get lifetime access to that. So it's a great way to jump in and to lock in on that journey. So I'm excited to have you there. And with that being said, we're going to close us out with some words of affirmation. I do want you to know that I have one-on-one coaching if you need some private coaching and some more support and more personalized help on your journey. And I want you to know that you have the power to lock in. You have the power to be in that driver's seat, to know that you're in control of your life. Nobody can help you but yourself, although they can help you in small ways, but they really can't help you for real, because You are the one that is going to do the actions that are going to help you get to where you want to be. And I know you love to hear this. I know you love to hear some inspiration. But let's take a moment to really give yourself an applaud. Give yourself the praise because you deserve everything that you have right now. You worked for it, you earned it. And take a moment to reflect. Let's take a few minutes to just talk about how amazing you are. You're beautiful, you're smart, and honestly, nobody can tell you anything because the woman that you are now, it's all because of your hard work. It's all because you show up each and every day to do what you need to do. Even if it's not each and every day, just know that you're always on point. You're always doing your best because if you could do it, you would do it. There's nothing in this life that is for you that you won't get. Everything that is for you, you will receive as long as you continue to show up for yourself and just enjoy the process. Enjoy the process of life because life isn't just happening to you, it's happening for you. And if you are to choose a path in life, that path is going to be the perfect path for you because you have the intelligence, you have the authority, and you have the energy to go on that path and to claim it, to feel good about it, and to own it because it's nobody's path but yours. I'm so excited for your journey. Wellness is a journey, not a destination. So enjoy the process, enjoy all the lows, all the highs, because with every loss, no matter how many losses you take, there's always going to be a high waiting for you. So it's not about losing, it's about just knowing that there's going to be some highs and they're going to feel amazing. So if you're comfortable with taking some losses and going through some difficult moments, you're going to have a blast because this process is fun. It's a challenge, but it's worth it if you care about yourself because you are an ongoing project that is your best project. It's your best project, and everything that you go through is worth it because you're worth it. You're worth the energy, you're worth the motivation, you're worth the inspiration, and life just smiles right back at you if you smile at life. No matter what happens, you have what it takes to keep moving forward. And I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. I'm rooting for you. I'm in your corner. And I am just excited. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for me because this year is just getting started. There's so much good left. There's so much excitement left. And we have some extra time here. I'm just going to keep pouring into you. And I want you to know that you have what it takes. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something. Whatever you want to do in life, just know that you can do it. You can do it because it's going to be challenging, but you can do it. And as long as you keep going, it might not even feel challenging. It might not even feel like it's hard. Because if you enjoy the process, you enjoy the actions that you're doing, you enjoy the strategies that you're using, it's going to be enjoyable. You're going to have the energy to do it. And you're going to be able to rest in that success, create balance for yourself, and to feel confident while you're doing it. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what anybody thinks. You shouldn't care what anybody thinks because if you enjoy doing it and you're not hurting anybody, then it's going to be all right. And you're going to be successful because of that. Anything you do is success because whatever progress you make, whatever step you take, you're moving in a direction that's made for you. You almost can't make any mistakes because it's all lessons. So I'm excited for you. I and just here for you. If I could, I would sit with you and just motivate you in every activity, in every endeavor that you're doing. And I would lift you up. I would let you know that it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to feel worried sometimes. But I want you to know that no matter where you go, no matter what kind of mistakes you make, because they're not mistakes, they're lessons, that I'll be here for you. And whenever you're ready for the next thing, and whenever you're ready for some more inspiration, Her Work Life Wellness Sessions is here for you. We have episodes that you can listen back on while you're working and just feel inspired, get that boost of energy, and to lock in, feel good. And this is your time to shine. It's your time to just feel good. So enjoy the process, enjoy your life, and enjoy the journey. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next session. Bye for now.